So I had to get out of my mind. I had to get out of my way. I had to get over imposter syndrome. I had to get over myself and just drill down on the emotional truth of the story. And I lived it. So there's even more layers to
So I
that.
was
How
going to ask
much?
you that.
Yes. How much do I divulge?
Yeah.
And I had to divulge a lot. So as the actors are reading it and we're going through this table read, I'm excited, it's cathartic, and I'm triggered at the same time because there's highs and lows to it. You know, I guess we can say without spoilers, it's truly, what do we do with legacy? I wanted people to see the conversations that African American families have, these quiet battles behind closed doors of what to do when a matriarch leaves us and a person is left with the estate. What do they do? Everyone has something to say. It's something about when people transition.
Yeah.
Ooh, the wounds, the scars come out, the claws. People feel like they should speak, and this one has the last say on this. And, it's a lot. And I live that on both sides of my family. And then there's backdrops of gentrification. I wanted it to be relevant, but it was real. On a certain side of my family, we were wondering, should we leave this neighborhood because we were the only two black families left,
Wow.
Or do we sell and distribute so that the legacy can have furtherance and you can, rediscover and reimagine what she or he worked so hard for and extend the legacy. I'm not trying to judge it.
Yeah.
I just know that it's a conversation and there is a heavy emotional toll that comes with it. I know when my mother and I were going through it, deciding what to do with my great aunt's house, it added 5 years to our lives, easily, from what everybody had to say and all of the passive aggressiveness, all of the scars that came out, and then there was joy in it too. You understand?
Absolutely.
But it was an emotional roller coaster, and I want people again to use this and see this as, okay, we need to get our stuff in order. We need to talk about how this is going to be done. We need to uncover why people feel that they have a seat at the table and even disrupt the table at times before we get to this. Because in that time, a lot of times all you can do is breathe. And you're not honoring the person that just died by everybody acting a fool. I've shared it with people as far as when I was getting investments and when I talked to the HODs, the heads of the department. I would say 98% of everyone that I spoke to about this project either dealt with it, was dealing with it, or was young at a time to see something explode, and it was crazy.
As I shared with you right before this episode, it's something that we're living through right now. It's
right now.
Super common scenario. A lot of people, to your point, don't have the conversation around.
Right.
They kind of skate around it, and they always talk about how weddings and funerals bring out different characters within a family, and what does that really reveal? In that moment, at least, they might be different at the wedding than the funeral,
right?
But it starts to bring out different emotions, and sometimes you experience those, and you skirt around them, and you don't really say what you want to say. Then you harbor resentment. Then it starts to read into different issues. To your point, the 5 years that can add to your life, and the stress, the emotional, the turmoil. Right. And sometimes it could lead to happy endings. Sometimes it could lead to a family coming together like you never thought it would, and change the trajectory of families. To your point, the legacy that is left when someone leaves us.
Absolutely. I know that a family friend of ours kept the house, turned it into a bed and breakfast. Awesome. Revenue. Beautiful. You keep it, right? And then I know of selling, whereas it started different businesses. So again, there is no judgment. I just want people to talk about it and not pay the price of the emotional and the heaviness that a lot of times is not unearthed and affects your mental health, affects your economic health, all of the things that we don't talk about. It eventually comes out. So
you said this is your first writing project. Or the project that you wrote on, and the project you directed from a scripted standpoint. Why did you feel like this topic was the first topic that you wanted to write on and direct on?
I had to whittle it down because, again, I had been skating around really doing it because I was working. I mean, just multiple projects, but I knew it just wouldn't leave me alone. At least that I wanted to direct and that I needed to show something, to show people, and to get it out of my system that I could direct on this level. And I had just turned 50, and I was like, well, maybe I'll do something about 50.
50 where?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, jeans. Thank you, Jesus. Yes.
And jeans and Jesus.
Jeans, Jesus, and moisturizer. Let's go. But yeah, I was like, maybe I do a rom-com or something that speaks to what it means to be 50 and all the things. And I said, I feel like that voice has been out there, and I still don't even know what the number is because I feel the same. And I've been afforded to be in wonderful health. And as you said, I don't look it, so thank you very much.
Not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, so it just didn't stick and stay. But when I really was looking around and I came across some older pictures, and it was just like a flood of emotions.
I saw some of those.
You saw them. Those are real photos.
I didn't know at first, and then I saw one photo. No spoilers, of course, but I saw one. I was like, oh, these aren't AI.
Right. Yeah. This is
This
real.
is live.
I'm laying it out. I'm being vulnerable, and I say that sarcastically because being behind the scenes for so long, you are behind the shadows and you execute on your vision or someone else's, the client, right? But it was a lot to literally, to your question, expose some of the conversations. Looking at the characters and developing the characters and saying, this is me. This is a combination of my mother and I, what we felt in different form. It just needed to be intentional. It needed to be put out there. So I mashed up different family members. I mashed up different, because I'm a studier. You're supposed to write what you lived or whatever you see. So I did my studying and I spoke to people about, how is it that you're going through this? You already told me about the same thing is you're going through the same thing with land in South Carolina, to a boat. All of the negotiations of this, I took and I just mashed them all together into different characters. And you said it's authentic because they're real people.
Yeah.
There's addiction, unfortunately, in my family. I wanted that to be shown and respected and highlighted as to how and why we make decisions. And even in a recovered state, because things still can come out and you should still root and hope for those people. So I took the human experience, those that were close to my heart, and those as I've traveled and as I've listened and poured them into the characters. So I'm glad that you find that very authentic. I mean, there's cultural nuances, yes, but again, it's that human, cross-cultural story that I'm always chasing.